Greetings! Welcome to Physical Education 3 Gymnastics.
Bass.
The exercise program. We have 5 objectives of our topic today. We have first, identify the principles and the phases of exercise. Internalize the health benefit, exercise, and importance of exercise principles. We have analyze and perform the conditioning exercises properly and correctly. Next is we interpret and perform the different type of exercise correctly and properly. Lastly is perform the different stunts. Our topics are first, the guide in exercising to train and skills. The principles of exercises. Phases of exercise program. Conditioning exercises. Cardiovascular vascular endurance exercises. Flexibility exercises. Muscular strength and endurance exercises, resistance exercises, and lastly, we have stunts. The guide in exercising is to attain the skill. The first is we need to plan that will start from easy to difficult and that will enhance the necessary skills. We need to be aware of the value of the different exercises. Third, do warm-up exercises before doing any difficult movements. And lastly, use even and smooth movement. Never use bounces if doing exercise for the first time. So first, we need to plan. Natin plano before mag-exercise. Then, be aware of the value kung unsa lang different exercises. If we want to develop our muscles, our biceps and triceps, of course, we need to do exercises nga matumong sa atong plans or sa value sa atong exercise. And third, we need to remember that warm-up exercises, as I've told you many times, pag first year pa lang ninyo, warm-up exercises is very important. Safety first, or di ta mga bali. Then, never use bounces. Unsa meaning na bounces? Tulong-tul. Labi na, kung imuhang muscles, imuhang bones or imong body kay dili pa wa pa naanan nga mag-exercise kay kuratan niya i-bounce nimo di na niya mabalik. That is why we have a guide in exercising to attain such skill. So how to exercise? Kasi mo ingon mo lang ano to na publish si Jisaan oy nga how to exercise nga nagsige naman mag-exercise pila na to ka activity ang naumong nahuman, but natay mistakes in doing such exercises. That is why we need to remember, number 1, find your most comfortable position. Dili ta awkward tan-awon, dili ta awkward maghimo ka ng kaginhawa pa ta usay kay mag-exercise ta nya di ta hapit kaginhawa. So we need to take note, number 1. Next, follow the guide for movements, no bouncy movements. Third, be sure that you have reached your maximum level of performance. So you give your best. Avoid foolishness and being playful. pushing one another should be avoided. So mag-exercise ta, exercise lang, di magkiat. And lastly, ask your teacher, ask me or your classmate to check your form. Okay? We have 5 principles of exercise. Of course, 5 principles. We need to remember this. Very important principles of exercise. First is overload. Overload refers to the observation that a body system must be exercised at a level beyond which it is presently accustomed. So overload. Ano sabi overload? We have components of overload. Intensity. Intensity refers to the degree of difficulty of an exercise session. So kung kuan ka, athlete ka, of course, grabe ka listud ang inyong training. It ranges to from 60% to 90% of difficulty of the exercise. So grabe gid kay bugat ka listud sa ilang exercise. Kita siguro ani kung mag-exercise tag vertical listud, inaguro ta ka bangon ugma. Next is duration, refers how long a specific activity or an exercise session will last. Kasagarang mga training or mga athlete, mag-training sila every day. Naging na sila specific time kung unsa kadugay ang ilahang training, mahuman, buntag sayo hantong mahuman ha kuan na guro udto. Per kita normal person, ang exercise nato is pwede rata 3 times o kanang 30 minutes a day. Pwede kay sunod semana lang ta ang sumpay. Pero at least we have 30 minutes kay di man ta athlete, di man kaya sa atong body kay kibaw man ta kanang sana kung masubraan ta basin yag mangurog ang atong mga kaunuran. Next is frequency. Refers to the number of sessions per given amount of time. So mo to, kita normal person dili athlete, dili kayo athletic. Nya hubakon pa jud. Dapat ang atong exercise is 3 times a week or 4 times a week na dapat tayong alternate or pwede sa kanang kay 30 minutes man ta sa isa ka adlaw, pwede 10 minutes sa usa ka adlaw niya. Every day, pwede ra na. Pero kay ba kasi mong body nga, kaya ra ni si mong body dili ta magtakit-taki. Next is specificity. Dapat specific. It is benefit associated with a training stimulus can only be achieved when it duplicates the movements and energy systems involved in the exercise. So kung unsa tong mga benefits nga nadira sa imong exercise nga nakuha, it's very good experience. Next is individuality. So no two individuals are exactly alike. All individuals have different performance, fitness attributes, lifestyle, nutritional preferences, and they respond to exercise and its physical and social environments in their own unique way. So there is no individual that is alike. Walay kapariha. They said that even the twins, dili sila the same. The same sila na ibang twins nga the same ugnaw, na ibang dili, but same sila ginaon. Pero ilang preferences or their attributes, kung sa kuan pa ilang strength, dili pareha. Kung ang usa kabong mosayaw, ang usa dili. Najoy instances nga na like us kana mag-exercise ta, ang atong kauban siguro kay bao ani nga stunt like split kita dili. About siya mo balit ads kita dili. So we have our unique way. Unique ta, so dili na siya dapat ikaguol. But in our kung depende ra pod sa ato ang pagdawat sa atong pagkadili pareha sa uban. Next is recovery. It is the amount of time body should allow to rest and recover from fatigue before the next activity begins. Pero akong friends sa una pagka-college, they said that ang tambal sa pamaol is pamaol. Kay athlete man sila. Pero kita, kung pamaulan ta, di mo kita hapit ka baro. Dapat ato sa nang ipa-recover. Ipapahuway sa nato atong muscles sa mga fatigue nga atong na experience sa atong mga exercises. Next is reversibility. State that if an individual stops to exercise, the body returns to its initial level of fitness. Yes, I experienced that when I was a college student, second year college. We have different physical activities from morning to evening. Morning, gymnastics may. Afternoon, we have team sports, mag-volleyball, basketball. Usay, mag-bowling pa may. Kahapon is we have swimming. Nindot to siya na experience because naka-recover, kuan na mo ang body, ang muscles, dili na may kaayo pa maulan. Pero pag third year na mo, we experience parang gitayan na, hantud karon gitayan na kay dili na ta ka experience of the same intense sa exercises, sa physical activities. Kung sa una, kabaon mo tumbling, mo roll. But now, it is not that very easy. It's difficult now. Kay wala naman na practice. Wala na sige ubuhat. Muna, mubalik yun ang itong body sa kung unsa ta sa una. Kung unsa to itong mga nahibawan ra. Labi na o dili ta maka-practice. So, dapat, kung natay skills, we need to practice it. At least daw once a day mo tagana ta 1 hour. So I have phases of exercise. So phases of exercise is to achieve the desired physical components. A child should undergo series of exercise workout. A well-planned program of activities that suits the needs of specific parts of the body, the standard of which should follow easy but progressive program. Meaning, easy siya una, progressive man dapat na level 1 of difficulty, level 2 of difficulty. Dapat na siya kanang series of exercise workout gikan sa sayon, padong sa lisod. Like warm up. So warm up is very, very important. Auta naman, phases sa exercise is important, but warm up is very, very important. Safety first. So we need to do 5 to 15 minutes of exercise, such as walking, slow jogging, knee lifts, arm circles, or trunk rotation. Low-intensity movements that stimulate movements to be used in the activity can also be included in the warm-up. So, kanang mga dili pa kayo pas-pas ng mga exercise. So, we have the warm-up functions. What is it? To slowly increase your heart rate while warming up your muscles. for the exercise that you are about to perform. To prevent injuries, since it makes your muscles and joints more pliable and less likely to tear, dili magisi ang inyong mga muscles basin muratag ka ng sana garter nga na lustre din ang mabalik ang ato ang muscles sa original position. That is why slowly hinahinayo nato kapag warm up. Next is workout proper. The stretching, na ang stretching. Muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardiorespiratory endurance, and flexibility. So we can apply these things. Ikahuman na nato og warm up. Di kay mag-una ni, una ta mag-warm up. So stretching, what is stretching? Is another key component for fitness. However, the best time to stretch is after you have warmed your muscles up. Stretching is very important in maintaining flexibility. Like last nag-gymnastics pa mi. Alos everyday may mag-stretching para di may matayan kay kanang sani ang atong muscles mabalik man siya, dili na ta batayan na ta, dili na nato ma-maintain atong flexibility. Imbis kibaw ta aning nga stance, like for example kanang kaabot pa sa atong tiil karon kay wala naman ta ka maintain sa atong flexibility, dili na nato maabot atong tiil kay natabunan na sa atong tiyan. We have muscular strength, a minimum of 20 minutes, so 40 minutes. 20-minute sessions per week that include exercises for all major muscle group. Lifting weights is the most effective way to increase the strength. Okay, muscular man atong gisukod ani. So we need to lift weight kanang dumbbells ang ato ang kanang best nga exercise nga mahimuan. Then muscular endurance, at least 3 30-minute session per week that includes exercises such as calisthenics, push-ups, set-ups, and weight training for all the major muscles group. Endurance meaning itong gidugayon. Kung maka-injure ba ta og ani nga kadugayon nga exercise. So, muna ang atong gisukod ani. Next is cardiorespiratory endurance. At least 3 20 minutes bouts of continuous aerobic activity requiring oxygen. Ang aerobic, like pas-pas. Rhythmic exercise each week. Popular aerobic conditioning activities include breast walking o paspas nga lakaw, jogging, swimming, etc. Flexibility. 10 to 12 minutes of daily stretching exercises performed slowly without a bouncing motion. This can be included after warm-up or during a cool-down. Dapat na yung flexibility test. Next is cool-down. A minimum of 5 to 10 minutes of slow walking, low-level exercise combined with stretching. Stopping too quickly can also place undue stress in your heart. So, dapat di ta magkulong largo. Kung kusog kayo mo exercise ato niya, mahunong kag largo, ma-stress imong heart. Masamot o ka-stress imong heart. So, dapat, we need to do cool down exercises, at least 5 to 10 minutes, slowly walking or inhale, exhale. Muna gina ang pinaka-best nga cool down. Kung dili ka ganahan mag-cool down paglain nga exercise, dapat di ka mo pas-pas o hunong dayon kay ma-shock imong heart. So, cool down functions, we have to slowly decreases kung ang warm-up is to slowly increases your heart rate. Kani kay slowly decreases your heart rate while redirecting blood flow back to normal. So, mo niyang function una. Ikaduha, to continue moving after your aerobic conditioning to prevent the blood from pulling in your lower extremities. Di mo us-ustanan imong dugo. Then next, we have 3 types of exercise. First, flexibility exercise. Flexibility comes from the word flex, which means to bend. Piko yun. Flexibility exercises improve the range of motion of joints and muscles. Stretching is one of the different types of exercise that improves flexibility. So, stretching is the most effective. Mo gini pinaka best way nga ma-test ang imuhang flexibility. It is stretching. Flexibility exercise is performed to enhance the movements of muscles on joints. Kung asa kutob ka makaabot sa imong pagka-flexible. Next, we have aerobic exercise. The word aerobic is made up of 2 Greek words meaning aeros, meaning air, and bios, meaning life. Aerobic exercise is vigorous enough to increase the body's need for oxygen and hence air intake and breathing rate increases. This type of exercise can be done continued for 20 to 45 minutes without being exhausted. So kung maanad ka kung kuan papahangin, kung maanad ka ani is dili na kadali kapuyon, dili na kadali hanguson, dili na din without being exhausting, dili na gid wala na pagkalubat. So mao ni siya ang aerobic exercise. Well, anaerobic, so aerobic, anaerobic. So ang aerobic ay vigorous enough to increase the oxygen. Pero ang anaerobic exercise is meaning literally without air or oxygen. A term applied to microbes which can thrive only in the absence of oxygen. Dili sad kanang dili ta kaginhawa, but it also refers to converse of aerobic exercise which sustain intensive exercise. Sprinting exceeds the body. So conditioning exercise, we have jogging, jumping. We have different jumping exercise. We have jumping forward, backward. Pwede rin tam atras abante. Pwede sa jumping sideward, right and left. Neck exercise, head rotation. We have also the head twist. Next, the arms stretch upward, arms push, arms swing and circle, body twist, trunk bend, hip exercises, the lunge, the long sitting forward trunk bend. Kuani, abto ni mo imong tiil nga naglingkod ka. Nga dili mapiko imong tuhod. Abdominal curl, leg raise, dog stand or leg raise, pedals, naghigda ka niya mag-bike. The next is aerobic exercises. We have bounce and twist, bounce up and down with the feet together, twisting the upper body opposite to the lower body. Elbow to knee. Alternate lifting knees, touching each other with opposite elbow. So, imuhang kanang left nga knees i-touch sa imuhang right nga elbow. Jumping jacks. Stand erect with arms at side. Jump up, landing with feet apart and arms extended overhead. The knee slap. Alternate lifting the knees, touching each knee with both hands at the same time. Leg kicks. Alternate between legs, hop on one foot, kicking and other out in front. We have the run or march in place or jog in place. Alternate lifting the knees, swinging the arms in opposition. Stride jump. Stand with one foot in front of the other. Jump up and twist. Switch feet, landing with the other foot in front. Super ball. Bounce up and down of the balls of your feet. Let your heels touch the floor before bouncing back. We have also muscular strength and endurance exercises. We have abdominal exercises. So, ang focus ani kay imong tiyan, pa-abs. The crunches. It is to lie back o higda with knees up and hands beyond the head. Tighten the abdomen and lift the shoulders off the floor, bringing elbows back toward knees. Return to the starting position. Next, we have the curl down. Sit with knees bent and arms crossed on the chest. Slowly lower your back to the floor. Return to the starting position. The curl up. Lie on your back with knees bent and arms extended toward the leg. Tighten the abdomen and lift shoulders off the floor as handles slide forward and return to starting position. We have reverse curl up. Lie on the floor with knees up and arms across the chest. Lift hips toward the ceiling while extended the legs, then returning to the starting position. The side curl up. Lie on the side with knees bent. Place the bottom arm under the head of the top arm across the stomach. Lift the bottom should off the floor with the top shoulder pointed toward the ceiling. Return to the starting position. And we have the lower bodies. Lower body. And focus on it is your lower body exercise. So we have ball push up. Support the body and hands and toes or knees with foam ball position under the chest. Slowly lower the body into the ball, pressing it down, pushing up with arms and return to the starting position. We have the bear walk. Supporting the body on hands and walk forward. Crab push-ups. So support the body on hands and feet with knees bent and arms straight. Bend the elbows and lower the buttocks toward the floor. Excuse me. Strengthen the arms and return to starting position. We have the line walk. With fingertips next to the line, support the body on hands and feet with legs extended back. Place the right hand over the line, then the left hand. Return to right hand, then the left. We have the seal walk. Support the body on both hands with legs on the floor and arms straight. Forward, walk forward on the hands, dragging the legs. Next, we have the lower body. The figure 4 left. Lie on the side, the top leg bent 90 degrees on floor in front, keeping the bottom straight, left it toward the ceiling. Next, we have heel left. Stand erect with feet several inches apart and arms at the sides, lifting the heels of the floor to stand on balls of the feet. Lower the heels and repeat. Hip abduction. Lie on the side with hips and knees bent. Slowly lift the top leg until the knee is above the hip. Lower the leg to starting position and repeat. Abduction. Hip adduction. Kanina kung abduction, karon adduction. So don't you worry, I will post another video about this. Kani kay we theories at that theory. Next time is we need to apply the different exercises. Okay? So hip abduction, recline on the floor with the upper body resting on elbows, bend one knee, keeping foot flat on the floor, keeping the other leg straight with the foot turned parallel on the floor. Lift the straight leg up 10 to 12 inches. Then lower it to the floor, returning to the starting position and repeat. The hip extension. Now extend. Stand 1 or 2 steps back from wall. Face the wall and lean against it, supporting the body with both hands. Slowly lift one leg in back while squeezing the buttocks, returning to the starting position and repeat. The hip flexion. Stand erect with hands on hips. Slowing left, one knee is in front. Lower the leg, touching the floor one toe. Repeat. For the better balance, rest the opposite hand against the wall. Leg extension, so hip flexion, leg extension. Recline on the floor with the upper body resting on elbows. Keep legs bent with one foot flat on the floor and the other held 1 to 2 inches in the air. Slowly strengthen the foot held off the ground, bringing it toward the ceiling. Return to the starting position and repeat. The side leg lift. Lie on the side with one leg on top of the other, keeping hips one on top of the other as well. Slowly lift the top leg 8 to 10 inches. Lower the leg, return to the starting position, and repeat, avoiding banging legs together on the return. Resistance exercise. Bent over rowing. Stand with feet shoulder width apart. Bend at the waist until back is almost parallel to the floor. Back should be straight. Extend the arms toward floor. Slowly lift the arms by pulling the elbows up toward the ceiling. Once elbows are above the back, lower the arms and repeat. Biceps curl. Stand erect with shoulder width apart and arms extended down at sides, keeping elbows close to the body. Bend them and lift hands towards the chest. Slowly lower hands and repeat. Lateral deltoid lift. Stand erect with feet shoulders width apart and arms extended down at side. Slowly lift arms out of the sides until parallel to the floor. Pose at the top, then lower to the starting position. Keep elbows straightly bent during the exercise. We have the overhead press. Stand erect and shoot width apart and elbows bend with hands and shoulders. Slowly strengthen arms, lifting hands overhead. Lower to the starting position and repeat. We have overhead triceps extension. Stand erect with feet together, feet shoulder width apart. Put hands together behind the head so that elbows are pointed toward the ceiling. Slowly strengthen the arms, extending hands up overhead. Lower the hands to the starting position and repeat. Next, we have shoulder shrugs. Stand erect with feet shoulder width apart and arms extended down at sides. Slowly lift shoulders toward the ear, pose, then return to starting position. Single arm rowing. Holding a weight in one hand only, stand with the opposite foot in front, bend at the waist and place the empty hand on the forward knee, extending the other arm toward the floor. Slowly lift the weight by pulling the elbow up toward the ceiling. Once the elbow is above your back, lower the arm and repeat. The upright rowing. Stand erect with feet shoulder width apart and arms extended down the floor in front. Weights held to end, keeping hands together, pulling elbows up toward the ceiling. Once hands reach the chin, lower the arms and repeat. Next, we have flexibility exercise. We have the dynamic stretches. Backward arm circle. Stand erect with feet shoulder width apart and arms extended to the sides, parallel to the floor. Slowly circle the arms backward. Start with small circles, then move to large ones. The body circles. Stand with feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, and arms extended overhead. Slowly lean to the side and bring arms toward the floor. While bending at the waist, continue with hands moving across the floor to the other side, then upward to the starting point position. Repeat by going to the opposite direction. We have the lateral trunk flexion. Stand erect with hands on hips, feet shoulder width apart, and knees slightly bent. Bending at the waist, lean to the side, return to straight position, then lean to the other side. Then repeat moving side to side. The neck stretches. So we have stretch A. Stand erect with feet shoulder width apart and hands on hips, keeping the chin up, looking toward the right. Pause and look to the left. Pause each time and repeat looking side to side. Stretch B. Stand erect with feet shoulder width apart and hands on hips. Lower the right ear toward the right shoulder. Poses and then lowers the left ear toward the left shoulder. Pose each time and repeat tilting head side to side. Overhead reach. Stand with feet shoulder width apart and knees slightly bent. Place one hand on hip and lean to the side, extending the opposite arm overhead. After the short pose, Lean to the other side, extended the other arm overhead, then repeat from side to side. Seated trunk rotation. Sit on the floor with legs extended in front and feet together. Reach the side and touch the floor with both hands. Slowly twist the direction and touch the floor on the other side. Continue twisting from side to side. Shoulder rolls. Stand erect with feet shoulder width apart and arms extended down at sides. Slowly raise the shoulders towards the ear. Then rotate them backward and down. Start to the starting position. Continue in circles. Switch to a forward direction after the desired repetitions are complete. We have static stretches. We have butterfly. Sit on the floor with soles on the feet, touching the heels pulled toward the body. Grab the toes and slowly lower the knees toward the floor. The crossed leg stretch. Sit on the floor with legs crossed like Indian style. Slowly leap forward, extending the arms. Cut on the floor as far as possible. The hip flexor. Stand with one foot in front of the other, toes pointed forward. Bend the front knee 90 degrees and extend the rear leg back, lowering the hips toward the floor. Hold, then keep the front knee even width on beyond the front ankle. Seated hip stretch. Sit with one leg straight and the other bent. Cross over the straight leg. Twist to the side of the bent leg and place the opposite elbow outside the bent leg. Hold. Then switch legs and repeat on the other side. Seated L. Sit on the floor with one leg straight and the other bent, with foot against the inside of the straight leg. Reach both hands toward the foot or ankle of the straight leg. Hold, switch legs and repeat on the other side. The seated straddle. Sit on the floor with legs spread. Reach with both hands toward one foot or ankle. Hold, then reach both hands toward the other foot or ankle, then hold. Seated two touch. Sit on the floor with legs straight ahead. It is best not to lock knees and feet together. With both hands, slowly reach out toward both feet and ankles. Then hold. The standing quadriceps stretch. Stand 1 or 2 steps from a wall and place a hand on it. Grab the opposite foot with free hand and pull the heel toward the buttocks. Hold, then switch legs and repeat on the other side. The static overhead head reach. Stand with feet shoulder width apart and knees slightly bent. Place one hand on the hip and lean to the other side. It is extend the opposite arm overhead and hold. Then switch sides and repeat. We have the triceps stretch. Stand erect. with feet and shoulder apart, width apart. Lift one arm overhead, bending it at the elbow. Grasp the elbows with the opposite hand. Pull slightly, then hold. Then switch arms and repeat on the other side. Next, we have the wall calf stretch. Stand one or two steps from the wall, with one foot in front of the other and both hands on the wall, keeping the back heel of the floor. Bend the front knee and lean toward the wall. Hold, then switch legs and repeat with the other heel on the floor.
So don't worry if walay position na gipakita. It is just about theory this time. But next video, we have the different exercises with the movement, of course. And lastly, we have activity 1. Activity 1 for the final term. So just comment on this your answer. Just comment your answer. How does the 5 principles of exercise beneficial to an individual? So write your answers in the comment section. Then indicate your name and your section that for that. It is for our attendance, and of course, it is for your participation. Thank you.